What's up, guys? Welcome back to Gravity Carolinas for our 2026 Enduro season. We're so excited to see you guys. I'm Jake,
I'm Harrison.
and we're recording this remote today because it's a little hard to get around anywhere with the amount of snow that we have on the ground. I haven't seen this in years. It's
Yeah.
hilarious to actually see white, fluffy stuff outside. I don't know what to do with it.
What do we get in Charlotte? Like a foot of snow, dude?
Yeah, I had spots in my yard where it goes almost up to my knee.
Yeah.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
I hate it. I'm over it. I'm done.
Yeah, me too. I want to go ride my bike. Speaking
Dude,
of riding bikes,
year two.
yeah, year two, here we are.
We're back
Um,
on.
yeah, so Harrison, what do our racers need to know for how to register for our round one at Rattlesnake next weekend, February 7th and 8th?
Couple of things. It'll be normal like every year. So you'll just either head over to our Instagram at Gravity Carolinas and hit the registration link, or you'll just go to our website, gravitycarolinas.com, and hit the register tab. From there, it'll kind of bring you a drop down of like all of our races, and then you can pick and choose what you want to sign up, which ones you want to sign up for. For this first one, obviously, you'll have to get signed up for Rattlesnake. Super easy process. We set it up really easy so that if you don't have a USA cycling license, you can just purchase a one-day license right there. But the big thing to note is, like last year, we're not going to have any on-site registration. So if you show up to our event and you haven't pre-registered online before Thursday at midnight, you will not be able to get into the event. Maybe. It really depends on how we're feeling that day. But for the most part, we like to keep it so that all of our registrations are done beforehand. It just makes things super easy on us when it comes to making sure that the race program goes smooth. So,
Yeah, absolutely. So just make sure you hit your time frames on that. And also, we had some situations last year and a couple of questions already this year regarding youth ages and what classes that they can race. Can you give us just a little bit of clarification on that?
yeah, I think the biggest thing that we're having this year is that some parents are getting confused with, like, let's say you're in between categories, right? You're like a 14-year-old, you have a 14-year-old son or daughter, and they want to race, and you don't know if they should be in 11 to 14 or 15 to 18. Or you go on bike reg and the registration is not allowing you to register for the younger category, even though his age right now is within the bounds of the category. Basically, we classify your race age as your age on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve at the end of the year. So let's say you're 14 now and you have a birthday, it's February now, and you have a birthday in May and you'll be 15. You have to sign up as 15 years old the whole year. So it doesn't matter like when your birthday is, it's your age at the end of the year. That's the age that you should register for.
Good things to keep in mind. Going ahead and moving into the race course for this weekend, give us a rundown of our enduro stages. What's that look like?
Yeah, so it'll be a good mix. It'll be a little bit more technical than last year's. If you raced the race last year at Rattlesnake, we have two of those stages that are kind of midway, so Sabotage and Rock Garden. And then we have the three longer stages, which start on 50 Shades of Clay, I think Southern Comfort, and then Medusa, which is the downhill trail that we put in earlier this year, or last year. It should be about, I want to say, maybe 1,800 feet of climbing over the course of the day, five stages. Everyone is going to race five stages this time. Sometimes we'll do a pro stage at some of the other venues. This time is not like that, so everyone will race five stages. And yeah, another thing to note is that you can book camping through us. So if you're interested in coming out and you just want to one stop register, book your camping, and set up your USAC stuff, you can do that through the bike reg page. Rattlesnake will offer camping on site this time around. It might be a little bit chilly though, so please prepare accordingly.
Yeah, it looks like the weather for next weekend is going to be a high of the low 30s.
Yeah, it'll be
So
a little
it's
chilly, but I think it'll be a good time.
let's go over, what does practice day look like? What Saturday's schedule look like? What does race day schedule on Sunday look like? Anything in particular to note for riders?
Yeah, so practice schedule is going to be pretty much normal compared to every other race. Like we'll be practicing from, I want to say, like 10 to 4, 10 to 5 p.m., something like that. Um, Friday, this is going back a day. It's just going to be an open practice. So that's usually the day that our crew will come in and set up. And if you show up to the bike park a day early, that's totally cool. You can ride all the stages, no problem. You just won't have a race plate, and it's not considered an official practice day. On Sunday, this is where things get a little bit different, and you'll have to check the bike reg page on the scheduling for that because it is not accurate on our website. We've made a little note to remind people to check the bike reg page. The reason for that is that we're going to be running an early race. So this is for a couple of reasons. The bike park, they want to be able to manage the race, but then also they want to be able to have their normal patrons be able to have a normal experience at the park. So they're going to be running a delayed opening. Our race day starts at 8 a.m. and we're going to go until 11:30, and then we're going to cut everyone off. So you'll have 2.5 hours to complete your race, or 3.5
That would be
hours.
3.5 hours.
Yeah, 3.5 hours to complete your race, and then we're gonna cut everyone off. We'll do podiums at 12, and we want to get everyone out of there by like 1 p.m. when it's really warm. Um, yeah, that'll be it. That's really the only change.
Cool deal. One clarification that I do want to throw out there, just so there's no confusion. If you show up on Friday, your Friday park pass is not covered for your weekend's registration.
That's right. We only cover
So,
Saturday and Sunday
yes,
park passes.
yes. Like Harrison was saying earlier, if you want to show up to the park on Friday and get some practice in, absolutely go get those laps in. Let's make sure you beat everybody else. However, your race registration does not roll in Friday's practice, so make sure that you stop by with the folks at Rattlesnake and purchase a park pass for the day if that's something that you would like to do. With that in mind, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next thing. Just a couple of safety things for our riders to, kind of keep up with throughout the weekend. Anything in particular to note, Harrison?
Yeah, when you're starting your stages, like please make sure that you give the rider in front of you some time. We're gonna have a couple of guys posted up at each stage start, but be mindful that like if you're in the pro category and you drop in behind one of our junior guys, you might have to give them a little bit extra time, like a minute, minute and a half. It like the time differences can really be that much. Another thing to note is on the transfer stages. Personally, we're the messenger here, but because we're USA Cycling sanctioned, you have to have your helmet on the entire length of the race. If you are caught without your helmet on, even on the transfer stages, even while you're pedaling up at 2 miles an hour, yes, we know you will be eligible for time deductions, and that's just dependent on if we catch you doing it. So just keep your helmet on the entire length of the race. It'll be cold anyways, so you'll want to do it. Another thing, you can't have headphones in during your transfer stages. This is another USA Cycling rule. This is another, don't shoot the messenger. Like we're just trying to put on good events and follow the rules that are sanctioning our races and making sure that you guys are safe. So that's a big part of that. Anything that you have to add, Jake?
I do think what you said a second ago about emphasizing if you're a faster rider dropping into one of the stages behind a slower rider, make sure to give them adequate time. So just make sure you watch out for that. Don't do any weird stuff there.
Yeah, the only time that racers would be eligible for reruns, first of all, this is not our call to make. You're going to have to talk to the USA Cycling official that would be on site. But from my understanding, the only time that racers are eligible for reruns is a collision with a spectator, a downed rider who needs medical attention, and you stop to assess the situation. Then you get medics. You can get a rerun for that. And then pretty much anything outside of your control impeding your run. So if you have a mechanical or you crash, you will not be eligible for a rerun. If you're behind a downed rider or a slower rider and they don't let you pass, you might be eligible for a rerun, but you have to talk to our USA Cycling official.
Sweet. Well, that's just about everything that you guys need to know for our round one Enduro at Rattlesnake next weekend. That is February 7th and 8th. Another thing that we do want to go ahead and put on everybody's radar, for those of you that raced downhill last year and intend on racing downhill this year, which we hope is all of you, that schedule will be out very soon as Valentine's Day next week. Harrison, some more information from you.
The downhill schedule looks sweet, man. I mean, we have a couple of world-class venues that we're going to be racing at this year. We'll even include there's the potential that we might be at a venue this year that hosted a World Cup a couple years ago. So that could be something really, really exciting. We're looking forward to spilling the beans on that, but I need a little bit more time to button up some of these agreements and get these dates dialed in, so that we can get a good downhill season going. And when we know that information, you guys will know, literally. So the day that I knew the Enduro schedule, the day that I had our agreements signed, that's the day that it posted. So when we know, you guys will know. Trust me, we wanna get it out as soon as possible. But you're just gonna have to wait another week or two.
Yep, but it's going to be great when we get there. I promise. Anywho, thank you to everybody for tuning into this video today. We can't wait to see everybody next week for our 2026 season kickoff at Rattlesnake. It's always a lot of fun out there. If you guys have any more questions in the meantime, feel free to drop us a comment on this video, or you can give us an email at info@dalladevents.com. Otherwise, we hope everybody stays safe in the wintry conditions that we have this week, and we will see you this weekend.